Ever feel like you're stuck, like you only have a handful of websites you ever use?
Trapped in the walled gardens.
Yeah, walled gardens, exactly. And they're all owned by like 3 companies, right?
Right, right.
Today, though, we're diving into something different. We're looking at Near Protocol and its vision for a truly open web.
Yeah, it's not just about switching gardens, though. It's about uh, rethinking the whole internet from the ground up. Instead of those walled gardens, we're talking like a vast park.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, a park owned by everyone.
That's a much better analogy.
Right.
Okay, so Near is like the blueprint for that park.
Exactly.
That's exciting, but a little daunting. Luckily, we've got the official Near white paper to guide us on this deep dive, so no better place to start than the basics. For someone hearing about Near for the first time, what is it, like, in a nutshell?
So think of it kind of like a community-run cloud, like those cloud platforms that we all use every day.
Yeah.
But instead of Amazon or Google calling all the shots,
Right.
it's powered by this big distributed network of users.
Okay.
Anyone can participate, anyone can contribute resources, and anyone can benefit from its capabilities.
Okay, so no shadowy corporation controlling everything. I'm already liking where this is going, but how does this community-run cloud thing actually work? What makes it different from me just setting up my own server in my basement?
Well, that's where blockchain comes in,
Blockchain, gotta be, right?
of course. Near uses blockchain technology to make a secure, transparent, and tamper-proof foundation for this decentralized cloud.
Okay, blockchain. It's the magic word that's everywhere these days. But for our deep dive today, can you break down what makes Near's blockchain technology stand out? What are the big problems that it's trying to solve?
In a nutshell, usability and scalability.
Okay.
Most blockchains out there are, let's face it, not very user-friendly.
You're telling me trying to navigate some of those interfaces, it's like I'm trying to decipher ancient hieroglyphics.
Exactly, and that's a huge barrier to mainstream adoption.
For sure.
Near, though, is laser-focused on making blockchain technology accessible to everyone.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, so one way they do this is by ditching those long, cryptic wallet addresses we're all used to. They've introduced human-readable account names, so like
Right.
yourname.near.
Okay.
Simple, memorable, easy to share.
Wait, so no more copying and pasting those impossible strings of characters just to send a few bucks to a friend? That's a game changer.
Huge.
Yeah, just that one little tweak makes it all feel so much more approachable.
Absolutely, it's the little things, right?
Yeah.
But Nearer goes even further with its progressive security model. So you don't need to be a cryptography expert to get started. It kind of eases you into the world of blockchain step by step. You get more control as you get more comfortable.
Sort of like dipping your toes in the pool before you like cannonball into the deep end.
Exactly. Now, the other big challenge Near tackles is scalability.
Okay.
Existing blockchains, even the big ones, are known for, let's be honest, their limited transaction speeds. Think about it. If we want blockchain to power the future of the internet, it needs to handle billions of transactions every day without breaking a sweat.
Yeah, waiting like 5 minutes, 10 minutes for a transaction to go through. No, that is definitely not going to work if we want mass adoption.
Yeah.
It sounds like Near has a clever solution to this, though. Something to do with sharding? I'll admit, I'm a little fuzzy on the specifics.
It's actually a really elegant solution.
Yeah.
Imagine a city with just one main road.
Mm-hmm.
As the city grows, more and more cars use that road.
Right. Gridlock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sharding is like building multiple highways that all kind of connect and allow traffic to flow smoothly, even as the city grows.
Oh, okay. So instead of every transaction clogging up a single lane, they get distributed across these multiple interconnected shards.
Precisely.
Clever.
Near sharding system is called Nightshade,
Nightshade, okay.
and it's designed to dynamically adjust and add more shards as the network grows. So it's future-proof, essentially.
Oh, very nice. I like it. Okay, I think I'm starting to see how Near addresses those big blockchain problems, you know?
Yeah.
The usability and the scalability.
Yeah.
But what about the building a new internet part? Where do we even begin with something that ambitious?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. This is where we need to talk about primitives.
Primitives. Okay, now that sounds important. Like we're about to unlock the secrets of the universe here. So give me the rundown. What are primitives and why are they so key to Near's vision?
I love the enthusiasm. And you're on the right track with that whole unlocking thing. In the world of Near,
Yeah.
primitives are like the fundamental building blocks, right? Think of them as the essential ingredients, the Lego bricks, if you will, that developers can use to create all sorts of amazing dApps.
Huh.
on top of the Near ER platform.
Okay, so instead of every single developer starting from scratch,
Right.
they've got this set of ready-made tools and components that they can just work with.
You got it.
Yeah.
And that makes building on Near ER way faster and way more efficient. It's like having prefab components for a house instead of having to, like, cut down your own trees and mill your own lumber.
I love that analogy. So what kind of prefab components are we actually talking about here? As the white paper dives into like a few different types of primitives,
It
right?
does. Let's start with assets. And I'm not just talking about Near tokens, although those are really vital pieces of the puzzle. But on Near, assets can represent anything of value. So imagine like digital versions of physical goods, virtual assets, collectibles, even things like your identity or your own personal data.
Hold on, my data as like a tradable asset? Now that's a bit of a head spinner.
It's a big shift for sure. But the whole idea is that on Near,
Right.
you own and control your own data.
Okay.
You decide which applications can access it. You might even potentially get compensated for sharing it.
Okay, so that whole aspect of data ownership, that's really intriguing to me. So it's not just about money, it's about who holds the keys to all this valuable digital stuff.
Exactly. And that's kind of where that primitive part really comes in. See,
Yeah.
these assets, they aren't just like static representations. They're
Oh.
programmable. So imagine like setting conditions on how money can be spent or creating self-executing contracts where funds are only released when certain criteria are met. This is what we call smart contracts.
Okay, that's starting to sound really powerful, but help me wrap my head around this. What are like some really concrete examples of how these programmable assets could actually like change things in the real world?
Okay, so let's take a really simple example. Imagine you're a musician, an artist, and you're trying to sell your music online.
Right.
Right now, you're at the mercy of these streaming platforms that take a huge cut of your earnings.
For sure.
With programmable assets on Near, you could create a system where every time somebody streams your song, a micropayment is sent directly to your account. Automatically, no middleman taking a cut.
Whoa, okay, so that's like a game changer for independent artists. Direct to fan connection, but powered by blockchain. Okay, I think I'm getting it now. What about other applications, beyond the music industry?
The possibilities are practically limitless. Think about, like, supply chains.
Okay.
With programmable assets, you could track products from the factory floor all the way to the store shelf.
Wow.
It would ensure authenticity and ethical sourcing at every single step.
Okay.
Or you could imagine insurance policies that automatically pay out when certain conditions are met, like, say, a weather event or a flight delay, without any need to even file a claim.
It's like embedding trust and efficiency into like the very fabric of all these transactions.
Exactly. And this is just, us scratching the surface of what's possible with these programmable assets on Near. But let's move on to the next building block, shall we?
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
We've got these powerful assets.
Right.
We need a way to manage them and interact with them.
Okay.
That's where accounts come into play.
All right, account. So I'm guessing we're not just talking like usernames and passwords here, are we? What makes accounts in like the near world so special?
You're right to suspect there's more to it on Near. Accounts are more like digital passports.
Okay.
They give you access to this whole ecosystem. And it's not just for us, for people, Every single user, every contract, even devices can have an account on Near.
So like my smart refrigerator could have its own near account?
Maybe. You never know.
What would it do with that?
Yeah.
Like order groceries when I'm running low?
I'm laughing. Don't give away the future too soon. But yeah, you're getting the idea. This interconnectedness is really key because these accounts are part of this shared global data layer. Some really powerful capabilities can emerge, like universal logins.
Wait, hold on. So I could potentially have one single login for any app or service built on Near. No more juggling like 50 different passwords. That would be amazing.
Exactly. And as you interact with different apps and services,
Hmm.
your account builds a reputation over time, right?
Yay.
This opens up interesting possibilities for things like decentralized credit scores or even reputation-based access to certain services.
Okay, so accounts aren't just like these static profiles anymore. They're more like dynamic representations of like our digital selves. I'm with you so far. We've got these programmable assets, these supercharged accounts acting as like our keys to the kingdom. What else is there? What brings it all together?
That's where transactions enter the scene. This is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak.
All right, hit me with it. Transactions, in the context of Near, what makes them unique?
See, in the near world,
Mm.
transactions are much more than just moving money around.
Okay.
Although they can certainly do that with incredible speed and efficiency thanks to that sharding technology we talked about earlier.
Right, right.
But remember, because everything on Near is programmable, these transactions can be customized in all sorts of really cool ways.
Okay, so paint me a picture here. What does a customized transaction on Near actually look like? Okay, so paint me a picture here. What does a customized transaction on Near actually look like?
Imagine, like, setting up recurring micropayments for something like a subscription service.
Okay.
But instead of relying on some third-party processor, it all just happens automatically through a smart contract on Near. Or think about, online content creators. They could receive tips directly from their fans.
Right.
Every share triggers a tiny payment that could really add up over time.
Wow, so we're talking about a whole new economy built on these like lightning fast customizable microtransactions.
Exactly.
That opens up a lot of possibilities.
A lot of possibilities. And it's not just about speed and efficiency either.
Right.
These transactions are also highly secure.
Right, because everything is cryptographically secured, tamper-proof, all that good stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to get why people are so excited about all this. But we'd be remiss if we didn't at least touch on, like, the challenges, right?
Yeah.
Building a new internet, even with all this amazing tech we've been discussing,
Sure.
it's no small feat. What are some of the hurdles Near faces in actually realizing this ambitious vision?
Yeah, you're right. It's not all going to be smooth sailing. One of the biggest challenges, honestly, is awareness.
Okay.
Near is still relatively new,
Yeah.
especially compared to some of the big, giants, the behemoths of the tech world.
Right.
So getting the word out, attracting developers, building a really thriving ecosystem around this technology, that's crucial.
It's like the Wild West, the early days of the internet all over again.
It really is.
A lot of potential, but a lot of work to do to convince people that this is the future.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the regulatory landscape. Governments around the world are, they're still trying to figure out how to even approach this whole thing, this whole decentralized technology thing.
Yeah, I mean, whenever something this disruptive comes along, there's bound to be at least a little pushback, right?
For sure. That's fair. But I'm optimistic.
Okay.
Near, by its very nature, is very transparent and accountable. It's not about operating in the shadows.
Hmm.
It's about everyone working together, building a better system for everyone.
So a decentralized future, but one that's built on collaboration and like a shared vision.
Exactly.
I like the sound of that. We've covered a lot of ground today. Programmable assets, supercharged accounts, these lightning-fast transactions. We've explored how Near is tackling some of the biggest challenges facing blockchain
Yeah.
and gotten a glimpse into its vision for the future of, like, this open web.
And it's a compelling vision.
It really is. What's so fascinating to me is how Near ties all these different pieces together, the usability, the scalability, that powerful set of tools, those primitives we talked about. It's got the potential to unleash like this wave of innovation unlike anything we've seen before.
Absolutely. The possibilities are really
We're like we're standing at the edge of a whole new world, and who knows what incredible things people will build.
great. It's an exciting time.
To our amazing listeners, we hope this deep dive into Near Protocol has sparked your curiosity. If you're eager to, learn even more about this, be sure to check out the full new white paper. We'll link it in the show notes. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one building the next killer dApp on Near. Until next time, stay curious.